Hello, dear friends. This is Helen from Israel. And let me bless you for being in this service week after week, after week after week. It's a blessing to have your presence and your support. A felt sense of a living point in the Ajna center of the planet. A week ago, no, a few weeks ago, it's quite a long time already, we have adopted as a working hypothesis to see the Middle East area, West Asia, as a solar plexus center of the planet. From this perspective, we may begin to discern overall dynamics and trends of the region as a whole. And in this wider scope, we may begin to see and maybe begin to understand what is happening in the various nations and the relationships between them. If we take psychosynthesis as the model of our work, the main entity is the region called West Asia, Middle East. The different actors playing their roles in the area are sub-personalities of this entity, active sub-personalities, interacting with each other, influencing and shaping the area and its place and its role on the planet. Those sub-personalities, the actual nations, with their dynamics, both internal and interdependent with each other and with the world. So from this scope, it demands from us to observe the phenomenon that is presented in front of us in psychosynthetic discernment. This is a place of stark conflict on all levels between big pairs of opposites at this time of dynamic transition in humanity. A meeting place of East and West. We call it Middle East, we call it West Asia. It would have been so helpful to our service to have representatives of some of the player nations to share an authentic experience of the region. So far, we have only Israeli representatives attempting to bring some flashes of their own perception of the area to Western fellow co-workers. And this attempt is tinted by local experience and limited by the conditioning of those representatives. Okay, for today, I would like to bring a rough brush stroke of the Middle East that might help us see the area in terms of general blocks. The first block, the pro-West United States aligned bloc, which includes Israel, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, which you will see also is hedging with China and Russia, Qatar, Egypt, all those pro-West, this pro-West aligned bloc. There is the Iran aligned resistance bloc, the resistance axis, that includes, of course, Iran, which is the main source. It includes Syria during the Assad government. It includes Iraqi militias, not the government, but militias. The Lebanese Hezbollah, not Lebanon. The Yemen Houthi movement, and Palestinian groups like Hamas and the Islamic Jihad. It's an axis from Iran. And the third bloc is independent in-between countries, the balancers. These countries are not strictly pro-West or pro-East or pro-Iran. They try to balance between the US, China, Russia, and regional rivals. They often act as mediators. They avoid taking sides, or at least taking fully sides, like Qatar, which is highly flexible and also pro-West. Oman, the same. The Iraqi government, Saudi Arabia, also highly flexible, and the United Arab Emirates. So we can perceive from this rough brushstroke that the Middle East is not uniform and that many elements compose it. If we want to look at it from the perspective of the relationships with the world, the relationships among the different local players, the relations and the role that they play in world management. So thank you for being here and for listening to that. Today, Efrat will not bring her share of Israel in this experiment, but we will hear her and we will feel her presence while reciting the great invocation in Hebrew. Thank you. Over to you, Uta.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Helen, for this broad brush stroke of the Middle East. It's a big step, a big stretch for us to now look at the Middle East as a whole, as one entity. So it may take a while until we get it right, and we invite your your ideas, your feedback. Yeah, okay, so let's start the meditation. Let us take a deep breath and settle into our body. Letting everything in us become quiet, calm. Feeling our heart for a moment, the deep heart between the shoulder blades. And let us see to it that it is purified, so it may hold complex situations in harmlessness. Collect our mental forces now into the center of the head. And from here, let us expand into an inclusive planetary perspective. Standing as the soul in incarnation, in the will to love. And let us visualize now ourselves coming together, reaching out to each other from heart to heart, mind to mind, and soul to soul. And as a group, we are part of the Ajna center of the planet, in vibrational resonance with all soul-guided service around the world. Standing calm, like on a pinnacle, at the midway point between humanity and hierarchy. And from here, as silent watchers, let us turn our eyes now towards struggling humanity, observing the overall picture, the forces in motion, the turmoil and pressure of initiation into a new age. And within this big picture, let us now zoom into the region of West Asia. Getting a sense of the many powerful forces meeting here. See if we can sense some of the dynamics of the three groupings: Pro-West, Resistance Axis, and the Balancers. Let's for a moment observe the intensity of strongly held, narrow identities and beliefs, of righteous claims and selfish interests. And the survival fight for life and for dignity. Let us hold this recognition, the awareness that West Asia is a region in which humanity as a whole is playing out ancient karmic solar plexus issues, and how this is affecting the whole of humanity. The solar plexus of humanity in turmoil. And now, let us lift our consciousness towards that of our ashramic co-workers. Resting for a moment in their wisdom and their protective presence. We are in this process together. And in their presence, let us invite into our awareness what it takes, what is the necessary process of transmutation of this condition in the Middle East, in West Asia. This balancing of opposites, this struggle towards a higher point of synthesis, of raising the solar plexus dynamics into a heart approach. Heart wisdom. Let's imagine for a moment how it would be to transform this multi-layered violent conflict zone into a field of creative tension. A field of creative tension. Let us invoke the Lords of Liberation to help us transmute all that stands in the way and evoke the soul light in humanity and forge together a path for the saving force. Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to humanity. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, Almighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may we stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth, the end of woe has come. Come forth, Almighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, Almighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, Almighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end. See and sense a shaft of pure golden white light, broad and brilliant, flood West Asia. See a huge column of light pouring through all planes. Hold this column steady in the will to peace. See soul light flooding the mental plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the astral plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the etheric physical plane of the Middle East, penetrating into the earth. Joining with the Devic forces, transmuting the ancient records of evil sharing, dissolving and purifying them into the recognition that every human life is sacred. Let us take a minute to see this work proceeding. Visualize the saving force spreading in West Asia, being active in each nation, each ethnic group, each religious group, breaking up the old limiting thought forms and strengthening the soul impulse in all of them. Visualize the principle of the highest good of all, gradually and steadily taking root. Lifting humanity from solar plexus dynamics into the heart. Let us affirm this as we sound the great invocation in Arabic and in Hebrew.
الطلبة الكبيرة. من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب إلى قلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية والتي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي نرون بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة، التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين.
מנקודת האור אשר בדעת אל, יזרום האור אל דעת האדם. ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, תזרום האהבה אל לבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. מהמרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם. תכלית אותה מורי האנושות יודעים ומשרתים. מהמרכז אשר נקרא המין האנושי, תוגשם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, ויחדשו אור אהבה ועוצמה, את התוכנית על פני האדמה. אמן.